Hey guys, and welcome back to another Trekyards podcast. I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Connor Cockings. Hi guys. Welcome back.
I have just one question for you, Samuel. Should there be a Star Trek 4?
There already was a Star Trek 4.
Not the one with the whales.
Oh.
The new Kelvin timeline. There, I forced myself to say it, not the JJ verse.
So should there be a Star Trek with a number 4 rather than Star Trek with a V1?
Well, it won't be a number 4 because he hasn't numbered any of his other ones.
True.
It'll be
Good point.
Star Trek into something or around something or over something.
Star Trek JJ's Revenge. Wrath of JJ. No, okay. Yes.
I agree. I think Beyond went swimmingly. I know its box office returns weren't fantastic, but I do think there should be another one. I think Beyond kind of redeemed the franchise a little bit. Sorry, go ahead.
And on that note, thanks everyone for turning up to this week's podcast. We answered the question. Short I sound. No, okay. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you guys want to make that joke. I just was dying to make that joke. Yeah.
That's fine. So yeah, in my estimation, they should make another one. I'm excited to see another one. There's a lot they can do, and I think they need to explore it a little bit more. I don't have a problem with the Kelvin timeline per se. Beyond, like I said, impressed me a little bit, and there's some really great aspects to it that I'd love to see more of. So,
I think it's worth reminding people that we sort of go with roughly the consensus that, and this is not the critical consensus, this is the Star Trek fan consensus. The first J.J. Abrams film is a bit too far anti-canon. It broke too many of the rules, and it disrespected the hardcore Trekkie audience. And both of us were not for that film. And it's not very well done in that respect. But we all went to see it with expectations, and the second one comes out, and it's better in some ways, worse in others, and most people think it's sort of a rehash of Wrath of Khan. I think somewhat cleverly, but still a rehash. And that, I think both of us at that point, we were both, we don't want more JJ. I think that's fair to say. We were very much.
yes.
They're doing the movie. We don't really care. We did a pre-movie, pre-Beyond coming out, and we were sort of excited based on the whatever, but we didn't need a new JJ film in our lives. There was no active positivity. There was just, well, there's another one. Let's watch it. If you agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Continue.
Yeah, and then Beyond comes out, and obviously now we're like 7 years in to this whole thing, but it certainly shows what can be done when done properly, and redeemed the idea of those films. And now I find myself thinking, I now want to see a fourth one if done like the third one.
Totally agree with you. And I think, like I said, there's so many possibilities in the Star Trek multiverse, as it were, that you can come up with new story ideas. You don't have to use what's already been established, as they've kind of already done with the first 3 movies. I mean, the first one was getting to know everybody. The second one was, oh, Khan. Really?
Yeah, definitely cash cowing, weren't they?
Yeah. And then the third one, let's destroy the Enterprise. So far they're following the formula of the original movies. They need to stop that and do something original and new and unique to their universe.
Well, see, I don't blame the idea that they destroyed the Enterprise. I don't think that was very much a let's copy Star Trek 3. I think that was just a what will impress people, what will make it dramatic. Let's make narrative. Let's kill the Enterprise to create this story. I thought that was just a sub. It wasn't linked to the other Star Trek 3. So I give that movie credit for being original because it was doing its own thing completely. You know what I mean? And yet linked to pre-NX canon a little bit with all those great references. Xindi War, all those great Makos. I think just because the Enterprise was destroyed, I mean the D gets destroyed and in late. I mean, the Enterprise get blown up. I mean it happens. So I'm not really like. It just happened to be the time for it to get destroyed.
I don't know. The crash scene was just too similar.
Yeah.
Actually, they combined Generations and Star Trek. Anyway, I think they were just kind of hitting certain beats, and they were kind of working for them as far as they were concerned. So that's kind of what they did. But yeah, I'll buy your explanation of that.
But does it surprise you that you actually want a 4, given your negativity when 1 and 2 and the whole universe?
It does surprise me because looking back years ago, if my future self would have came back and said, "Hey, you're going to look forward to Star Trek 4," I'd be like, "That's funny."
Because I
What's
remember
the
a video you
punchline?
made called JJ Sucks and Here's Why. It's quite a popular video. So if you now went back to him then, that would have happened. That conversation would have happened. Right?
Well, there's still a lot of problems with the science of JJ's Star Trek, but that's what that video focuses on. But yes, I agree.
But they don't have any of the problems in the third one, though. They don't have transort beaming, they don't have blood, they don't have super fast warp, they have none of the
There are
problems.
problems. There are
But they're
problems.
different. They're not the stupid problems. They're not the same stupid science
They
Star Trek
are.
problems.
They're the spacing problems. Planet, nebula, base. What? They're just all so close together, and
Yeah, but that
you can
could
see
happen,
the nebula from the
though.
base. And
Yeah, but that could happen. There's no like we know that it's a fictional. It's an invented new nebula. It's an invented new space. What? It's like the Briar Patch. Well, we don't know how far it is away from the edge. It might be like 10 minutes. It might be 5 minutes. An impulse. That's another disturbance that you can just go into.
anyway,
We have discussion. Okay, so you say yes to a Star Trek 4. Now,
yes.
we sort of said why because 3 got you more excited, but where do you think they should go, and where do you think they might go?
All right. Where should they go? They should go on a time travel adventure to mirror Star Trek 4.
Ah,
The one
so
with the
so go into the
whales.
wave, ride into the we're mimicking them. Okay.
I think that's what they're gonna do.
Okay.
What they should do,
Right.
which can actually kind of entail that a little bit as well, go into the mirror universe.
Yes.
You can time travel, same as in A Mirror Darkly. The ship was from 100 years in the future, but in the mirror universe, it came back into their time. Something like that would be a fantastic. I would love to see the mirror universe on the big screen, and to see a Kelvin version of the mirror universe, I think would be really fun.
Yeah, that's
Well,
interesting.
one of the main reasons I'm
Huh.
excited for the next film is because of the new Enterprise. A drastic improvement, in my opinion, over
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
Ryan Church one. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of that. That's one of my biggest things with Star Trek, as anyone knows, is I love the Enterprise, and I think it should be a main character. And I think it's now looking like it fits more into that role.
It has some real personality, this new one, and yet feels very enterprisey. You know?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's for some reason there's a lot of people saying Mirror Universe, but to break that mold, I think the audience, because you got to think these aren't made for us. Although this last one was a lot more, and guess what? It did better because of that to us. And as I've said previously, the first 2 movies are not going to have the longevity that they could. The first one will have more because it broke the mold. It was the controversial one. The second one, people are already forgetting, apart from their hate of Khan. The third one, the Trek fans are gonna keep close to their heart for longer. They're gonna talk about it more. They're gonna appreciate it more. That will give that, because if just normal audiences don't care, it's just another franchise to them. We care, and the third one will care about the most. So that will have the longest lifespan. So that's the success of doing it more canon-y, whatever. So doing a fourth one, making it a mirror universe story, is both very canonical to Star Trek, very creative. You can do whatever you want, sort of, but also the idea of a mirror. Because if you can imagine a poster, the cast with a mirror and then evil them in really aggressive things. The audience think, oh, it's evil Kirk. Even though we said that, you guys said that in the '60s, and I've said that when I saw Star Trek whenever I saw it. It's like you get that. Ooh, I think you get a huge amount of people. Now it'll be less Gene Roddenberry vision, but one thing about the idea of Star Trek, sometimes you need that stark contrast. You show how good the Federation is by comparing it to the evil Empire. So you show how good Kirk is when he's face to face with a bad Sulu, So you can have a Gene Roddenberry filled vision of the future in a Star Trek movie, even though it's as dark as hell, because our leads, our heroes, they are embodying the goodness, and that vision is going through. Even if it's a dark action movie with Mira Kirk stabbing Uhura, I mean, you can have that aggression, but you can still have that vision by how you tell the story.
Yeah, and I think that's where a lot of Star Trek movies fall down. I mean, Star Trek is designed to be on television, as far as I'm concerned. You need weekly stories that explore the characters. When you put it on a big screen for a general audience, it becomes a good guy versus bad guy to solve a problem. Good guy is victorious in the end.
Yes.
It's a very formulaic plot. I can't even speak today. But you know what I mean?
Yes.
Good guy, bad guy, got to defeat some kind of super weapon and then win. Which brings me up a great idea for a Star Trek 4.
Yes.
Doomsday Machine. But brought to our solar system or our quadrant by some bad guy who's in control of it would work for me. But to make it way more dynamic, the mirror universe thing with the crew facing the polar opposites of themselves, I think would make for fantastic viewing as well.
Now, I obviously also think budget and things, and when I tend to talk about, the potential of these stories, I think budget as well, because I know that there's a bottom line to make. One of the best things about The Wrath of Khan is that it actually has a smaller budget, so they had to keep it much simpler. They use the same bridge set for 2 different ships, but it works. And by doing that, by keeping most of the action on a ship to which you've already built the sets, you're saving all the budget. So, and I, a lot of my, all of the stuff in Star Trek 6 is amazing, except Repenthe, in my opinion. Like, the ship stuff, the political stuff, amazing. As soon as you get off the Enterprise, I skip it, So, you can imagine a Star Trek 4 where you build these sets, then you tweak them, you do 1 week's filming, whatever, or the prime, the hero shots, and you tweak it to be the mirror, and then you've actually got this same dynamic. You need a lot less set. You just build more of the Enterprise set. You've got everything pre-established, and you can have that great. And then you've always got your own. You've actually got a Khan figure, but it's Mirror Kirk. And because his life would be even more drastically different. I mean, was there a mirror Narada incident? Maybe there was a mirror Narada incident. Maybe they actually have Romulan technology from the future. Maybe they are. That's why the Empire succeeded earlier. That's where the Terran Empire is genuinely the most powerful force in the galaxy, because they have 24th century Borg Romulan technology. And now we have to, our guys have to fight that technology. Can't even compare. That'd be kind of cool. But then you're really getting contrived with how many universes there are, because then you had the Mirror Prime mirroring the mirror of the Mirror Evil.
I was just going to make it more complicated and have the original Defiant from In a Mirror Darkly mentioned, or at least seen, maybe in orbit of Earth as a museum or something, as this is what sparked the technological advancement of our. Could you imagine tying in that continuity?
Yes. I mean, how cool would it be just to see, them go back in time to the NX-01 era, and that's the Mirror Universe Empire. Like you said, it's 5 years after they got the Connies. They've now got, 18 Connies, and all with, Vulcan weaponry, which is why it's more powerful, and they can still go toe-to-toe with the Kelvin Prize, because I don't subscribe to the idea that they're super ultra powerful. The technology hasn't. You can't just skip a level. No one, only the Klingons captured the Narada, and they didn't seem to be much. They didn't even manage to defeat it. Even when it escaped, they defeated the entire fleet of Klingon ships. Therefore, they didn't build a Klingon, super weapon, whatever. So I would still think it's roughly the same strength as maybe the refit era. It's a little jump, but not too much. So what if the Mirror Universe is also as aggressive as maybe? I'd love to see it go in sort of in between. So you have the Connies and you have the NX era, but you up-detail them, or even it's another mirror, because an alternate universe going to another alternate universe, or maybe even wouldn't the most funny Star Trek 5 would be they cross universes into our universe. So the Kelvin timeline, the crew are in our universe. Maybe they jump into the future of our universe, and now they're in the TMP era, and now they're faced against Reliance and Enterprise refits. I mean, that would be a cool movie, because those ships look damn good on the big screen. You up-detail them even more, and you've got a movie.
And there's a precedent for that. For the IDW comics, there was the Q crossover where he brought the original crew to our universe, or the rebooted crew over to our universe, and things like that. Let's have Q in the next movie show up. I think that'd be amazing. I don't think they'll do it.
Well, there are millions of Q as well, so any Q you want to pick.
This is true.
John Delancey is way too old. And I've pick someone else, because there are a bajillion Qs, but. They'll probably go a safer option than that. They'll probably go for a baddies come to destroy Earth, or hopefully at least they'll be out on the frontier again, because that's, I mean, wouldn't I think we'll have to do a different podcast of, pitching a Star Trek 4 when we think about it and let's pitch a movie. But wouldn't it be interesting if Star Trek 4 was actually a sequel? Because Star Trek 09 is a standalone, Into Darkness is a standalone, Beyond is a standalone. There aren't thematic ties apart from family, but that's just generically the TOS crew. Wouldn't it be nice if Star Trek 4 had them actually exploring the nebula that they had just found, because now they can go through it. So they're now in this uncharted space. You can now find new aliens. They're far away from home. They're maybe another year into their mission, but they're seeing new exciting things. There's a mission just in that. So I want, what I like about the movies is where, like you said, it's not this versus a baddie. I like insurrection. I like it's a double part movie, a double part episode. Some of the best episodes of Trek are double parters. Into Mirror Darkly, Best of Both Worlds, All Good Things. These are movies to me. Endgame. These would all work as movies. Up the budget a bit, good spend of special effects. These are movies. These are just fine movies. Star Trek movies. So make it this another story in the universe. Don't make it Earth-centric. Don't make it even close. Make them even older. Make them the end of the 5-year mission. Make the end of that movie be, now we have to go get refitted to be the refit era. Give us that other time jump.
I don't think they'll do that, unfortunately. I don't know. I like the idea of exploring the new nebula. Maybe they'll bump into a whale probe. And be like, oh, this is on its way to Earth. We just download. It's looking for whale. Oh my God, they don't have whales on Earth. Let's go back in time and get some whales. I don't know.
Yeah, I think what I think they'll do is just another safe stories, another story we can't even predict, because they'll want to go different, which is good.
Well, from what I've heard, Chris Hemsworth is signed on, who plays George Kirk, which is Kirk's dad. So I'm assuming time travel or mirror universe, because if they go mirror universe, he could still be alive and be a captain or an admiral. And what's going to affect Kirk the most is seeing his father alive again. Like, that's dramatic storytelling right there. Or time travel, which I suspect they'll probably go with time travel before mirror universe.
It's a safer option to understand time travel than understand mirror universe. But I think, narratively speaking, mirror universe is so, do time travel in the 5th one. Give us a really strong standalone mirror universe movie, and then give us a culmination of their arc, going back to where it all began and fixing the timeline / whatevering. I'm a bit dubious about the George Kirk thing, because part of J.J. Abrams is he does lie, unfortunately. He lied about Khan, he lied, a whole load of things he just promoted wrongly. Now, while I get suspense, while I get, not giving things away, there are ways to do it, there's ways not to do it, and he did it the wrong way. And so, when you announce, because I remember that came out as soon as Beyond came out, to get people to go to the movie, he's saying, this amazing Avenger, he's now signed on to come back for the 4th one, so everyone should see this movie, so make sure we make the next one. But they didn't even know the box office. Obviously, it did pretty poorly, considering. So, I'm sure they didn't sign a contract yet, because they didn't know how much money they were going to make. So that was just like we want to get Chris, he wants to do it, he signed. There wasn't a contract. There wasn't, it was just something to get people buzzed about.
It's interesting.
This 4th one. It was hype, but he doesn't have to be in it. There's no real thing there, I think. I have a sneaky suspicion. But fundamentally, I don't want JJ the director as the director. Continue with the non-JJ directors. Did a much better job with that universe. Get Justin back if he wants to be. I did hear a rumor that Simon is again helping to write the next script, even though he didn't enjoy the process because it was so stressful. But hopefully that's true. Hopefully he is even co-writing it, because he did a great job.
Yep.
Give us another good director. They did a great job with this last film. The space scenes were beautiful. Pacing was great. Give us more of the same. Just another good story. Go. You've got the right people now. You've got the right cast. You've got the right, designers who have the better feel. It feels a bit more TOS-y, You've got the right director. You've got the right writers. Think of a really good story that in itself is a good story, not just it's reliant on everything else. Go for a good story and then just go make it. And lower the budget. Make it more personal. Don't have this, the intro scene was brilliant. Don't have, 50 people running around in CG, make practical alien makeup. Don't have every drone be a CG. Give us, a Gorn monster in a rubber suit. No, don't do that. But you know what I mean. Make it a smaller movie, so you don't need it. You don't need this huge budget. Make us a good movie with a smaller budget, which will then make you more money. You don't need to blow it all on CG, you know.
Well, speaking of cast, as you just did, that Anton passed away, and so there's going to be no Chekov. Now, that opens up the door for other opportunities, like either Jayla, that was her name from Beyond,
Jayla.
right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bring her back on as a crew member because she's going to Starfleet training. Or let's bring in Lieutenant Eric's from the animated series. We got the CG budget. We can do that now. It'd be cool to see a tie-in from something other Star Trek like that, like an animated character. So there's a lot of possibility. That's what I'm looking forward to quite a bit, actually, is seeing how they deal with the death of Chekov. What is he going to be transferred to a different ship? Does a character pass away? I don't know how they're going to handle that exactly, but they did say they're not going to be replacing him with another actor to play Chekov, which I totally agree with.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't in the first season, so there is a precedent for him to not be on the ship, and I don't see them making 7 of these like the original, or 6 of these like the original crew did. You know what I mean? If they get a 4th, they'll be lucky. If they get a 5th, they'll be very lucky. So you can have one without Chekov. Yeah.
Who would you like to see as a replacement?
Jayla's great. I mean, Jayla's great. Give her a uniform, make her more refined, I guess. Obviously she'd understand the world she lives in now, therefore. But the makeup's great. It is ethnically different in terms of another alien on the crew, always good. Or just, I don't know, maybe Savick. Because timelines are all messy. Doesn't matter really about aging. They've thrown that a bit out the window. Why not? Have young Savick, have young Valeris, make it a Romulan subplot.
Ilea, bring Ilea in earlier.
Yay. I mean, Decker. I mean, yeah.
So many possibilities. Is what we're saying.
Or even just don't, just say he got transferred, or say he's on vacation at Risa. That'd be a nice reference. Then he's just not in the story. I mean, they brought Worf back for very little reason. Just have him not be there. I mean, they didn't give him. He actually had way more to do in the last film than he could have, which was great. But you could easily take one of those 3-4 secondary characters out, and it wouldn't make too much of a difference. Sad too, but yeah. But I'm interested. I'm excited. If they continue on the same road they did the third one, I'm interested. Give it the same VFX company. They did a great job. Those guys. And I've talked to some of the people behind the scenes. I think both have, and they're really passionate people about Trek and really great cinematographers. And yeah, I think Beyond has rejuvenated that universe. Has given it a Star Trek. It's given it a Star Trek mandate rather than just a film mandate. It's made the universe feel like a part of a greater Star Trek multiverse. It's not just a time travel the past that's been changed. It's not a rebooted sequel, in the sense of Wrath of Khan. It's its own thing, which is what we asked for since the beginning. And even if they want to mimic Star Trek 4, do it really well, but okay. I mean, to be fair, I would be interested to see what happened if the whale probe came back. How would they approach it? Maybe go get alien whales. Go back to 19 something and find someone. I don't know.
The problem with that though is that because this is set in the TOS timeline, it's way too early for the whale probe to be back.
Yes,
unless they're exploring way far out.
But the Kelvin incident could have changed even more, Stuart. We know that.
No.
But then again, if they just say at the start parallel universe, it is parallel. It's not the same universe. Therefore, why wouldn't it be earlier? Just say from the get-go it's parallel, not.
I just hope they totally avoid whales.
Make it dolphins instead. They can have a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy crossover.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
yeah.
I guess bottom line is yes, we want to see a Star Trek 4. Yes, there's huge potential. What we want and what we're gonna get are probably two different things altogether. But I think they'll try to do something good, and hopefully they will succeed because Beyond was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. So
yeah, and I think we should have another podcast about potential stories. Pitch Star Trek 4. I'd like to see what you'd think of as an actual story. I'd love to have it sit down and think about it, and come back together and have a discussion.
I think I'd be down for that, absolutely. And hopefully you guys are too. But if you liked our little discussion on whether there should be a Star Trek 4, please like the video, as always, you got to subscribe because we're here all the time. We're always
Yeah.
putting out new content and theorizing and teaching you things. And so if you do subscribe, make sure you click the bell notification, even if you are already subscribed, because YouTube algorithms, all that. Just click it. You get notified when we
Yep.
release something. You can decide whether you want to watch it or not. But please, exactly. We've got a lot of releases every week, so always new stuff coming out, and we look forward to entertaining you all. You don't want to miss it, so click the bell.
And if you support this show on a monthly basis, say go to our Patreon and support us there financially with what you can spare. And every dollar, every $10, every $100, whatever you want to give, helps us make the show every single week and keep bringing dozens of videos a month. And that's amazing. We love doing it, but we need your support to keep it going and just keep improving. That's what we aim to do here. Is just keep misbehaving, keep improving. I was trying to do a quite different move, but it didn't really work. Or a one-time donation at trekyards.com if you want to support the show in a single way. Please do, and we'll make the most out of it.
I love how you slipped that misbehaving in so that nobody would hear it because you said it so fast, but now I brought it up. And
Oh, it's Firefly, isn't it? I like to misbehave. There you go. I aim to
there you go,
misbehave.
yeah. We do have fun here. We do like misbehaving and entertaining you guys, and hopefully we do a good job. A lot of people love us, so... Anyway, until next time, guys, I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Kongs.
And we'll see you in the future in Trekyards 4. The search for more money. No, that's Baseballs 2.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.